Imagine trying to cram like an entire broadcast control room into a device that weighs just over 3 pounds.
Yeah, it sounds impossible.
Right. And costing under $1,000, which is just wild.
Mm.
But that is the reality we are looking at today with a custom deep dive into the Bolin Technology N2-210X.
Right, it's a PTZ camera. So pan, tilt, and zoom.
Exactly. But the specs, they read way less like a standard conference room lens and, well, more like a high-end production powerhouse.
Okay, let's unpack this because we aren't just looking at glass and plastic here.
No, definitely not.
We're tracking this massive trickle-down of studio-tier hardware that's suddenly hitting an incredibly accessible price point for you.
We really are witnessing a fundamental shift in how remote video is captured. I mean, to understand why this specific camera represents such a breakthrough, we have to look at the baseline capture hardware first.
Right, the physical specs.
Yeah, so it uses a Sony's CMOS sensor, which is the light-gathering microchip that actually turns physical photons into a digital signal.
And that is paired with a 10x optical zoom, so it's outputting a completely fluid 1080p resolution at 60 frames per second.
Okay. But, I mean, a high-end sensor is totally useless if the image processing behind it is just dumb.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, I read through the specs on Bolin's Blue Line platform, which is what drives the camera's internal brain, and it boasts this color matrix feature.
Right, the RGB CMY matrix.
Yeah, allowing you to adjust those specific color channels like red, green, blue, cyan, magenta, and yellow directly through a standard web browser or web UI.
Which is huge for remote setups.
It is, but it also claims to use AI-powered facial analytics for focus and exposure. And I have to push back here a little bit.
Okay, go for it.
Because I see AI autofocus slapped on consumer webcams all the time.
Yeah, it's a very trendy marketing buzzword right now.
Right, and usually it just means the lens is constantly hunting for contrast, blurring the image every time someone just moves their hands. So does this genuinely solve that dreaded washed-out face in a dark conference room problem, or is it just a marketing sticker?
Well, what's fascinating here is the actual mechanism that separates this from a cheap webcam.
Okay, how so?
So standard auto exposure just looks at the overall brightness of the entire frame and, well, it just guesses. Like if you stand in front of a bright window, it darkens everything.
And your face just becomes a total silhouette.
Exactly. But Bolin's AI facial analytics continuously scan the incoming pixels specifically to map human facial geometry.
Oh, wow. So it's actively looking for a face.
Yes. Once it locks onto a face, it commands the sensor to prioritize the lighting and focus for those specific coordinates. It completely ignores that blown-out window behind them.
So instead of trying to balance the whole room, it dynamically anchors the exposure to the subjects themselves.
Precisely.
And then if you stack that with the color matrix, that means you could isolate and tweak just the reds in a speaker's skin tone.
Right, without accidentally turning the blue background purple or something.
That is wild.
It's precise color isolation, without needing a lighting engineer physically in the room. But dialing in a perfect image is really only half the battle.
Because you have to actually send it somewhere.
Right. If you can't get that heavy data payload out of the camera and across the world smoothly, the whole broadcast fails.
Which naturally leads us to the data pipeline. So this unit has standard HDMI and USB-C outputs, but the network connectivity is the actual heavy hitter here.
Oh, for sure.
It is certified for NDI HX3. And for anyone unfamiliar, NDI is this protocol that lets you send incredibly high-quality video over standard local computer networks without completely bogging down the bandwidth.
Right, it's a total game changer for local setup.
But it also handles SRT, or Secure Reliable Transport. And here's where it gets really interesting.
Yeah, SRT is massive.
Think of sending live video over the open internet like shipping a massive puzzle in thousands of separate envelopes.
Okay, I like that analogy.
Right. So on a bad network, envelopes get lost, causing video stutter. But SRT isn't just a fast lane. It's an active error correction protocol.
Right.
So if an envelope drops, the protocol instantly detects the missing packet and re-requests it so fast that the puzzle is completed before the viewer's screen ever glitches.
Exactly. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, the combination of that SRT error correction and something called VISIO over IP completely removes geography from the equation.
VSCO is the control protocol, right?
Yeah, VSKey is simply a control protocol. So running it over IP means you are sending commands over the internet straight to the camera's physical motors.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so a producer sitting in London can securely pull a flawless, low-latency video feed from a camera in New York.
While simultaneously using a joystick to physically pan, tilt, and zoom that exact lens in real time.
Exactly, in real time.
Wow, so what does this all mean?
Well, it changes everything for remote production.
It really does. We are talking about onboard AI that perfectly maps and exposes a face, local color grading tools, and rock-solid global transmission and motor control.
All packed into a 3.3-pound unit.
Priced at $995.
Yeah, the price point is just crazy.
You don't need a massive infrastructure budget to outfit a corporate huddle room, a live event space, or even a small broadcast studio anymore.
The barrier to entry for broadcast quality remote production has effectively vanished.
Which leaves us with a pretty wild thought to chew on.
Oh!
Yeah. If an affordable, lightweight camera can map and expose its own shots using AI and stream securely to a producer actively steering it from a completely different continent,
Right.
how long until human camera operators in standard physical broadcast studios become completely obsolete?
Wow. Yeah, that's a big question.
Definitely something to think about. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, and we'll catch you next time.